All right, we know what to call you. We're gonna call you the logo, the Predator logo file.
Right.
He can have many words, but he also can blend in.
That's right.
A chameleon. But I know
Right,
you
right.
like, yeah,
That,
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
that,
You like the Predator better though, don't you?
no, no. I like chameleon.
You like the chameleon? Yeah, okay.
Blend
Good
right
deal.
in. Blend right on in.
Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Living my life like it's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Living it like it is golden, golden.
Hey, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Welcome, 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 welcome to yet another episode of Mind and Money Matters live show. We are here representing Master the Science of Business in the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. And this is very exciting because we are in our fourth year, 19th session, and second session on YouTube Live. So welcome, YouTube. We are here. We are. I'm sure Brother Jahi is gonna get it posted up on Facebook for those who remain over there. But we are YouTube. we are keeping it moving. Um, but we want to make sure that you know that as we come to you each and every week bringing the science of business understanding as we're taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and message to the black man that the original charter of Howard University, which is the first HBCU, and all the others follow suit. They're never to teach us the science of warfare and the science of birth control. And Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that business is warfare, warfare is business, and that birth control is the science of mating. So there is no wonder why we have deficits in these areas, the science of business, the science of warfare, and the science of mating. So we come to bring to you the science of business that is coming from those who are out there doing business, learning trial and error, studied business on various levels, but actually practicing it and getting the science. They're giving us the scientific solutions to our business problems. So, yes, we are bringing business science solutions. Isn't that fabulous? Absolutely wonderful. All praises due to Allah. So we are looking forward to getting to you, our guests for this week. But as we prepare to bring them up, we're going to first bring up our dear brother, Brother Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad. That's right. Look him up. Mr. Communicator. That's Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad. He is our very own logo file. That is the lover of words. He is our human GPS. No matter where you are, just call him up. He'll let you know how to get to where you're trying to get to. Don't stay out there and be lost. He is that human GPS. He is that fact finder, personnel organizer, and trainer. He is the CEO and founder of Falal Worldwide Seminars and Training and Proper Propaganda Promotions. Brother Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad with the Falal Worldwide Word on the Block.
Assalamu alaikum, business scientists. How's the sound coming through?
You are doing
Walaikum salam.
Alhamdulillah, Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan
Ramadan
Kareem.
Kareem.
Welcome,
Love the
welcome.
scenery is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, praise is due to Allah. Welcome back to another episode of Mind and Money Matters live show, the definitive podcast for Black business bodaciousness. And as Sister Shireen mentioned at the offset, we switched the platform, so we over here on YouTube. We're gonna see how YouTube gonna treat us. We got treated kind of anyway, we're over here now, so please look, like,
Moving
comment,
right
share,
along.
share, and subscribe. Yeah, we're not gonna waste that kind of energy. It's a great
That's
thing.
right.
We
That's
do
right.
have a great lineup this evening, and as we start with every episode, we're into our third full year and the fifth month of our fourth year to producing this show. And we've, by Allah's grace, been able to produce a show, at least 50 shows a year. So we are 160, almost 170 shows in. All praise is due to Allah. And we
All praises due
growing,
to
and thanks to
Allah.
you all. We appreciate you, all of those who listen and share. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Now, we want to get started because we have some dynamic guests on tonight, and there's a lot of things happening here in Atlanta and around the country. But I want to start off with the Final Call newspaper. Yes, we always start. You may not be able to see this one, but it says "We Are Farrakhan." So make sure you can just go onto any Muslim's social media page, and you can find the lecture that the press conference that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan did on May the 9th, I think it was, last Thursday. You can any Muslim social page, you'll be able to find that lecture, or you can go to noi.org/We Are Farrakhan. You must listen to that press conference. Absolutely, it take you on a higher spiritual plane. It's not all about social media. I mean, this is just a tool to get the word out. But if you're ready to get lifted to a higher spiritual plane so that we can accomplish some things here on the earthly plane, you must listen to that lecture. So Final Call. Also, check us out this Thursday. Every Thursday, we do the This Week in the Final Call podcast. This Week in the Final Call newspaper podcast. We broadcast live every Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. You can go to Number One Program. That's NO, the Number One Program on YouTube, and check us out there, as well as Jahi, Mr. Communicator, on Facebook Live, Rashad Sharif Muhammad on Facebook Live, Nukava Muhammad on Facebook Live, and but check us out there so you get the latest information, insights onto this week's issue of the Final Call newspaper. And if you need your copy, you can always stop by 3642 Campbellton Road. That is if you're in the Atlanta area, 3642 Campbellton Road, which is the Southern Regional Headquarters for the Nation of Islam under the divine guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. 3642 Campbellton Road, or you can go to 2036 Sylvan Road, which is Cafe Ulu. You can pick up your latest copies there. If you're in the Riverdale or Clayton County area, you can go to the intersection of Georgia 138 and Georgia 85, and the Clayton County Study Group FOI are out there every day between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock p.m. with your newspaper. And there's a plethora of other outlets that you can get those at if you need your personal copy delivered to your home or office. Give us a call at 404-438-3156, 404-438-3156. And, of course, economicblueprint.org, economicblueprint.org. Go to that website, make your monthly or weekly or yearly contribution, 5 cents a day, 35 cents a week, $1.40 a month, or $18.20 a year. 16 million of us giving a nickel a day. That will give us $291,200,000 in a 12-month period of time, so we can buy land, and other resources that are needed in order to make us a continued, viable, and sustainable nation, a nation within this nation. All right. And for those of you who are throughout the country, all men, you are cordially invited to join men of the community tonight at your FOI class. Every mosque and study group in the Nation of Islam has an open FOI class tonight. You are cordially invited. So grab your sons, your nephews, your next door neighbor, all males, all men. Please join us. If you're here in the Atlanta area, we're at 3642 Campbellton Road in Southwest Atlanta, right over there by Greenbrier in the Ben Hill neighborhood, Ben Hill area, 3642 Campbellton Road. We get started at 7 o'clock p.m. and we have a treat for you tonight. But that's happening in every mosque and study group in the Nation of Islam under the divine guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You are cordially welcome to join us tonight. starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, it'll be 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So wherever you are in the country, you can find your local Muhammad Mosque. And please join us tonight. Now, I got some information, for the Follow Worldwide. Now, this podcast is designed for businesses. We started this 3.5 years ago to help to showcase Black businesses and to highlight and to increase entrepreneurship. Now, if I ask you the question about how many of you are entrepreneurs, some hands will go up. If I ask you a question about how many of you are salespeople, how many hands are going to go up? Let me see some hands. Let me see your hands. Raise your hands. How many of you are salespeople? Okay, I only saw 2 hands go up. If you are an entrepreneur, you are a salesperson.
That's right.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's
So,
right.
the tip that I want to share tonight, or the strategies I want to share tonight, is number one, I want all of us to get into the mindset that we are salespeople. Whatever business that you're in, whatever service you are providing, whatever product you are providing, it is incumbent upon us as salespeople, as business owners, to sell that product and or that service to someone else in exchange for currency. That is business, exchange of goods and services for currency. Now, I've been in sales professionally. Oh my God, been a long time, over a couple of decades now. And the number one, I've trained salespeople. So I'm going back. I want to do the basics, Sister Shireen, because Sister Shireen is kind of like the muse for this. We had a conversation a couple of days ago, and she was asking questions about sales. So I thought about one of the things that all salespeople dread doing, but it's necessary. So it's the same thing all entrepreneurs really don't like doing, and that is making cold calls. As we're taught by our good friend Dr. Chika Akua, he said that every engagement he's ever gotten has been because of an initiation that he made. So we have product or services, we have to make the initial contact. So I want to share with you, and I was thinking about this, 5 cold call strategies. 5 cold call strategies. Now, cold call is you have a list of people that you want to contact to offer your service and or your product to. They don't know you, you don't necessarily know them. So we have to get over that fear of doing that. So 5 strategies I want you to jot down, right? Think about, give me a call if something does not resonate with you. You're not quite clear what it means. But these 5 simple strategies. Number 1, smile and dial. That's simple. Smile and dial. Smile and dial. Before you make that phone call, smile to yourself for at least 20 seconds before you dial that number. Yeah, it may seem silly at first, but it helps. What that does is increases it lowers your heart rate, and when you're talking, it's going to come through in the phone call. But there's definitely been a smile and dial. So, and number 2, you're smiling and you're dialing. And the next step or the next strategy I would encourage all of you to use is to stand while you're talking. To stand while you're talking. You remember that Superman pose? Shoulders back, stomach in, chest out. That increases your confidence. Now you feel like you can make this phone call. You feel like you can do it. So smile and dial, stand while you're talking. Number 3, the third strategy, phone a friend. Phone a friend. Now, I don't mean that literally, because that's what happens too. I'm speaking from experience. I was supposed to make 200 phone calls a day when I first got into sales, and I'm calling up my friends. You guess what? They didn't put no money in my pocket. When I say phone a friend, what I mean by phone a friend is take a picture of a loved one, somebody that makes you smile. Right? Put that picture in front of your area where you're calling from. What's happening now? You're smiling and dialing, you're standing up, and now you see that picture of a loved one. So you're looking at that picture like they are the person on the other end of the phone. Now, all of these things are coming through the telephone. You're coming through the phone as being friendly, cordial, confident, and you're building that rapport. All of this is happening over the phone. So we talk about those elements that are missing in our workshop, how to become a dynamic communicator. So this helps you to overcome those elements that are missing because you're not in front of them right now. And so that leads us to strategy number 4. Speak in 1 or 2 sentences at a time. 1 or 2. Don't try to give a whole presentation all in 30 seconds.
That's a
Right,
good
we
one,
do.
Brother Jahi.
Right,
That's a good one.
believe me, I'm speaking from experience because you're so nervous. You want to get it all out, and guess what? I'm on the other end. I'm like, I have no clue what you just said. So slow it down. You know, the
Woo.
Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that too. When we're speaking, to speak in 4 to 5 word short phrases with a slight pause. That gives the listener an opportunity to catch up with you and to
Yes.
understand what you're saying. So 1 or 2 sentences, pause, then go keep going. Or if they ask a question and you want to address the question. Now, strategy number 5. This is a tricky one. The thing that we all hate, the thing that we all hate in sales is rejection. So strategy number 5 is to lean into the rejection.
Mm.
What I mean by lean into the rejection. Now I'm talking straight to Jahi with this one. When you lean into the rejection, we don't want to hear no. I'm calling you up. I want to hear yes. So let's do some reverse psychology. When you have your list, you're thinking, okay, I'm trying to get as many no's today as possible because the no's lead up to the yeses. So lean into it. Look for the no's. Set the example. Okay, I need to get 90 no's today. And guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna face them no's. Once they get that
What's
no,
going What's
you're
gonna
gonna go
happen?
on. You're gonna go on to the next one because you're trying to get those 90 no's. But in the midst of searching for no, guess what's gonna happen? Some yeses gonna pop up.
I
Some yeses.
love
Some people are like,
it.
yes, I'm ready to buy. So those are some of Jahi's quick tips on strategies on cold calling. Again, as I said, if you have any questions or inquiries or comments, please give us a call at 404-438-3156. So that is Follow Our Worldwide Word on the Street today. Hopefully something that we have shared will help you in your endeavors as that great entrepreneur / salesperson. So it's now my pleasure to introduce our ergokinesiologist who's now trying to be a GPS person, trying to identify my location. And I didn't want to tell her
Yes.
this, but before we started the show and they saw the background, she identified it at the first call. Yeah, Sister Sandy, I'm live at the Cascade
I
Springs
knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Nature
Those are
Preserve.
listen, anytime you go to somewhere where there's water in nature, I can pretty much, because that's my hangout. I love it. All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
All
It is.
right.
It is
All right.
very nice. It's over here on Cascade in Southwest Atlanta, the Cascade Springs Nature Preserve. So please welcome from Soul Wisdom International and your Life Center, Sister Sandy Buford Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Praise Wa alaikum salam. Praise be to Allah. I am so excited. We are in fact on YouTube Live. Just to make sure, Sister Shireen, Brother Jahi, did we do our link for on our Facebook Live? We had a question from one of our listeners, making sure that they can still get us. So we're working on that. If we're not showing up Facebook Live right now, we are definitely working on that so that you will know exactly how to get to our page from Facebook right over to our YouTube Live. Okay, yes, I am your sister Sandy Buford Muhammad with Soul Wisdom International. I am so excited about our show as every week. We are officially the second show in with YouTube. Yes, and Brother Jahi gave us some phenomenal topics that we need to definitely make sure that we wrote down. So as we always say, make sure you have your pen and paper because we just might say something that could be beneficial to you. So I love that specific one, Brother Jahi, about putting a picture of a loved one and just imagine that you're talking to them. That takes that nervous energy off. I love that one. Okay, so I want to make sure that we share this with you. Our disclaimer statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the material provided by Mind and Money Matters Radio is for educational purposes only. Does not warrant or guarantee the accuracy, adequacy, quality, validity, completeness, or information for any purpose. Listener is encouraged to do their own research. Yes, y'all got it? Okay, good. Hey, also make sure you go to Soul Wisdom INTL Facebook page and the web page.com, soulwisdomintl.com, to register for the upcoming Reiki workshop. We took a hiatus this weekend in celebration of that observance of Mother's Day. You see my fingers, Mother's Day. In fact, every day is Mother's Day and Father's Day and Friends Day and Grandma's Day and Sister Day and Brother Day. All of that. We don't necessarily just pull apart one day to celebrate Mother's Day. So make sure you honor if your mother is alive. Make sure you honor your mother and your father if they have transitioned on. We send our condolences to you and your loved ones and your family, because there's nothing like a mother and a father. So also we are in the month of Ramadan, and I wanted to share some insights about Ramadan. The month of Ramadan, as we shared in our last show, is a very sacred month, not only for Muslims, but friends who, my friends who really look forward to this time of year. It is a month of fasting, a month of prayer, a month of rededication, a month of reflection, a month of getting closer with your creator. We call him God. It's a phenomenal month, and every year at the end of Ramadan, something always tremendously, at least everyone that I've ever spoken to about it, something phenomenal always happens for them when you submit yourself to fast during the daylight hours. And that is from sunup, which is around about 6:20 in the morning, until sundown, which is around about 8:30 or so, give or take a few moments. It is during that time where you are in reflection back to of Allah and your relationship, and building that and strengthening that for the remainder of the year, the remainder of your life. And it also gives the body an opportunity, the digestive system, a break. We are constantly putting food in, and it's constantly working. Every time you put something in, it's working. So just imagine you on your job for 24 hours a day. Not so good, is it? No. So we allow the digestive system, we allow, let me do the digestive system now. We allow that to take a break during those times, and then we eat a sensible meal once the sun go down. And some of us time too as well. That's a phenomenal byproduct. So, come join us if you are so inclined. Come join us and let us know what benefits you are receiving from fasting from sunup to sundown. And make sure that it's okay for you too. We don't want anyone fasting who's never in their life ever fasted and have medical issues. So make sure that it is okay. We'll do the medical disclaimer. Contacted your medical provider to make sure it's safe for you. Okay, so that is it from Sandy's. Oh, and make sure you join me on Wednesdays for Sandy's Wednesday between 9:45 and 10 a.m. Sandy's Wednesday Corner. You can pick it up at Sandy Buford Muhammad. That's BeauFord Muhammad. All right, so now we have our beloved sister Cherie Muhammad that's coming up. She is the author, the founder of all of the AgriChild series. She is with, let's see how I want to go with. She definitely represents potential to purpose. She's also with Man Up. Ignorance is not bliss, it's costly. She was out with her so the word that Brother Jahi was trying to say last week is, I call Sister Shireen glam mama, right? So it's not grandmama, it's glam mama, because every time she's on the air, she is beautiful in her garments. She's beautiful in her garments, and she just youthful grandmama. So we don't say grandmama, we say glam mama, because she is so beautiful. Oh my God, she's always out in the community. She's crisscrossing the state. Hopefully she'll incite us, let us know where she will be next, coming up next with her books, autographing her books. If you have a school, you have children of the age, elementary age, even middle school, because my daughter, she's just out of middle school and she enjoys Sister Shireen's books as well. You definitely want to give her a call and have her come and speak to your children. Get them inspired about reading, and also inspired about growing things. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Welcome our business partner, Sister Shireen Muhammad.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All praises due to Allah. This is absolutely exciting. Just want to make sure that we are aware of our calendar of Mind and Money Matters. We are in the month of Ministry of Trade and Commerce. However, we represent the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, and so each and every week we're on, but we are bringing to you this week business owners who are, or for this month, we're bringing to you business owners who will share with us their experiences as business owners and give us tips of the trade, so to speak. I love what Brother Jahi shared today, so I do want to just recap us on that. So just in case you didn't have an opportunity to jot that down, here you go. These are the Brother Jahi's 5 tips, and he started with the first role, one of the roles of an entrepreneur, being a salesperson, and many of us are afraid of approaching people. So he gave us some tips on that, smile and dial, decrease the heart rate, right? So, when you speak to someone and it's a cold call, you don't really know them, you smile and dial, stand while you're talking, phone a friend, speak in 1 or 2 sentences at a time. Don't try to say too much, and lean into the rejection. Look forward to it. Know that the more no's you get, eventually you're going to get that yes, and then the yeses start piling up. Absolutely beautiful. So we wanted to just make sure that we share that. Next month we'll be dealing with the Ministry of Arts and Culture. So if you are in the Ministry of Arts and Culture, or you represent business that's in arts and culture, make sure you send us an email at mindmoneyshow. That's mindmoneyshow@gmail.com, and we will take your recommendation into consideration. So that's the Ministry of Arts and Culture, and then in July is education. So we're taking recommendations for both of those, the Ministry of Arts and Culture and the Ministry of Education at this time. So send those to mindmoneyshow@gmail.com. Then also, oh, that's not the right marker, but wanted to make sure that we are reminded to go to DModest.com. That's DModest.com, DEMODEST, and get our sportswear. I'm looking forward to being able to model one of those very, very, very soon. And also agrichild.com. That's agrichild.com. Little Sweet Khadija is taking off and running, y'all. Oh my God, she is taking off literally and running. Just this weekend, there's a little girl running to her grandmother saying, Gigi, I gotta show you something really awesome, really awesome. And I'm like, what is she talking about? She brings her grandmother back to the table to get Little Sweet Khadija. So you can get Little Sweet Khadija for that special child in your life at agrichild.com, as well as I Am the Seed of Greatness, which is the #1 seller, I Am the Seed of Greatness, and Why I Wear My Headpiece. They're running neck and neck. but I Am the Seed of Greatness does take the lead and number of books sold. And of course, there's t-shirts, hats, and all those other things at I Am the Seed of Greatness. So I am ready for our guests. It's time to rock and roll. They are ready. You want to bring up the first one, Brother Jahi?
They are. Look, I want to see if we can switch it up a little bit because I know a lot of us on time schedule, so we can maximize the time. Now, as most of you all know who watch this podcast, Sister Shireen lets you know that this is her classroom.
Yes. I'm ready
She's
to
the
learn.
impetus of the idea. However, today it is Jahi's world
Okay.
because I have my two business partners on the line, so we counsel all the time together. And our guests this evening are three brothers that I have a long history with. We work many details together. We have business. A couple of them we have businesses together. Have done business in the past. We talk to each other almost daily. We're running ideas. We're consulting with each other's company. So this is like Jahi's counsel today. I'm gonna give you all a inside peek into my world. So I'm saying that to say, what I want to do is introduce each one of them, and we'll bring them up, and we can do like a round table because I know a couple of them have to go. But I think with the questions that you all have for them, because I think it would be great too if Sister Shireen and Sister Sandy and Sister Anise is online, is that you all can ask the questions. Because what I don't want to do is throw out a question that may incriminate all of us. So
No, 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 no.
That is exactly what we want you to
I'm constantly writing, y'all. So I have another book in the working. I can certainly add something like that into the script.
Yes.
so for the sake of you remember that time we went, so we're not gonna I don't want to go that way, but it is my honor and pleasure to introduce these three brothers. The first person I want to introduce is that truly my brother. We just had different mothers and fathers, biological, same spiritual father. We've been able to travel around the country together, various details. We started a business together in 2009, which was instrumental in getting other people to start their businesses, or at least to look at the idea of collective we're pooling our resources. And he's a serial entrepreneur. He's been in the restaurant business. He's been in the delivery business. He's had several businesses, and he has for the last 5 years, I believe, 5 or 6 years, is conquering the beautification, the landscape beautification arena. We've had him on the show before. He started it about 5 years ago, and I love his story. I love the story that he told on the show, and others have heard it, and they talked about it. He's been an inspiration. We call him the coach, and he needs to turn his phone around like Sister Shireen told him yesterday.
I thought I did.
Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again. There you go. The management consultant, as well as coach. We call him the coach because when he's in the arena, he's gonna listen to what you got to say. And he's gonna give you at least 4 ideas for your business, whether you ask him about it or not. He's gonna let you know. Please.
I need to make an appointment. I didn't know.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. That's what he does. The dynamic organizer. Yes. So please welcome again to Mind and Money Matters live show, my brother Leroy Muhammad of Here at Last Landscaping Services. Salam alaikum, brother Leroy. Welcome back.
Wa alaikum salam.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great by Allah's permission.
Well, we
thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for taking the time. When I say busy schedule, that's not a euphemism. This brother is very busy. He's running. He's a management consultant at his job, and then he has a very thriving landscaping service. So, Sister Shireen, Sister Sandy, he is the epitome of the clientele that we go after. Those that have jobs and looking to steal away, and that he has been doing is on his way to taking his lifestyle to the next level. So when he's not, he and his family not off in in Hawaii or Dubai or Hong Kong, or he's not at work. He's like, yeah, we're going to Mexico for a couple of days. Like, that kind of thing. Well, he's not doing that. He's servicing 100+ clients with his commercial and residential landscaping service. So, Brother Leroy, first thing I want to ask you, you share that story with us again, because others have heard that story of how you started the landscaping business.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, let me give Sister Sandy and Sister Serene the greetings. And thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share my story on your platform.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Sir. How's your Ramadan treating you?
Well, by a lot of grace, it's going good, based on what I can do. It's going good.
Praise
Yes,
to
ma'am.
Allah.
Because you out there in that heat, Brother Leroy. We understand. I'm telling you, that ain't no
Yes, ma'am.
joke.
It ain't really no joke. It's really not. And we haven't got to the heart of the heat yet.
Right.
That'll be next month when the heat really begins to show.
Yes, sir.
But by
Praise be
then
to Allah.
we will get to our 30 days. Inshallah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Inshallah. So the beginning, because I think the beginning of your story is just, phenomenal to me. For a lot of those who are interested in starting a business and feeling like they don't have everything that they need, you feel like but I don't have, we're watching shows like, where they're starting off with $1 million budgets or, right? So it's like, well, how can I get started? And I know of your humble beginnings, but share it for our listening audience to inspire them to know that they can get started with what they already have.
Yes, ma'am. It's ironic that you guys mentioned, how did I get started? I was cleaning out my garage or my storage shed in the backyard. And as I was cleaning out, I noticed all the items that I had when I first started the business. And that was my little lawnmower, little push lawnmower, my little push weed eater, and my little electrical blower that I plug into the wall and only had a 50-foot cord that only took me to 50 feet as I try to blow off the debris of the yards. And as I was cleaning out my shed, I was telling the brother, I said, man, this is all the items that I started the business with. And now look where I have and what I have now compared to what I started with. Mm-hmm. And it was just amazing for me to see that. And I was actually thinking about framing it or trying to restore it to a certain point to see this is what my start was.
That's right.
As I continue to grow.
That going to Leroy here at Last Museum.
Right, my archive, yes. But I was just looking at that.
Yeah, so Leroy, for the listeners, I think you shared with us that you started with your home lawnmower and $5 worth of gas, right?
Yes, sir. $5 worth of gas to put in my lawnmower, and I knocked on the doors of some of my friends, co-workers, some of my friends, and my neighbors on the block.
Now, what drove you to do that? Was there like some kind of sense of urgency, or what was the passion behind you going to knock on those doors and make those cold calls like Brother Jahid spoke about?
Well, what Jahid spoke about, I was working on another adventure. I was working on a delivery service. And as I was trying to figure out how I could continue developing my business for the delivery service, I was running into the financial stomach blocks. I don't have more money that I can continue to borrow from my 401k. I was trying to borrow. Well, I was borrowing money from my 401k. I didn't have enough. I ran out of the money that I already borrowed, the $10,000 I borrowed at that time. I ran out of that allotment. So I said, man, I was sitting at the kitchen dining room table, and me and my wife was having a conversation. And she just said, look, won't you do what you love to do? She said, you love to do yard work. You sit in our yard for 5 to 8 hours all day long, working in our yard when you do our yard work. So that's your passion. Won't you do what you love to do? And from that, I took that little $5 lawnmower of gas, and I took my lawnmower and I went to go knock on doors with it. And I took all the proceeds from that. and I kept investing it back into the business every season.
Excellent. Go ahead, Sister Sandy.
Yes. So, Brother Leroy, you've said a few phenomenal things with reference to your humble beginnings. So, one of the things that you mentioned, which obviously you were starting out, you were a sidepreneur, right? You were
Yes.
a sidepreneur. You had that full-time job, and then you
Yes,
had that
ma'am.
little something on the side, right? What
Right.
what inspired you that just having that full-time job was not enough for you?
Good question. Good
what was
question.
that
Good question.
about? Because we have a lot of listeners on the line that listen to this show, and they're like, yeah, some of them are inspired to maybe just dab a little bit, but they really don't go after it like they could, right? So they spend years just thinking about, I want my own business, but never doing anything.
Right.
So what
Well,
is
one of the
that?
things that encouraged me, because I have a very decent, well, good quality full-time job, where most people wouldn't want to leave the things that I do and been involved in and manage over. And most people strive to get to, that they do their 4 years in college, they strive to get a good quality job. And which I think I do have a good quality job. But being in the nation, you're taught to do for self and you want to do for self. And at the time of me developing the delivery service, it was a point where the company was starting to look at, do we need to lay back or cut back on heads? Then I'm looking at myself saying, am I in position, if I do get cut, to maintain my family, my home, and whatever else I have? Am I in position? And as I reflect on that, I looked at myself and said, no, I'm not in position. All I have is my 401k, I have those type of things, but I'm not in really no strong position to continue to move forward if they decided that they didn't need my position anymore. And at that time, they were looking at maybe reducing some positions at the company. So that is what inspired me to, I really need to position myself to cover down on my own in the event that these companies do what they do, which is manage their business. And it's their business, so they're going to manage based on how they see it. So if they need to reduce heads, then they're going to reduce the heads, no matter how much they like you, no matter how good of a worker you are, no matter what you can do as a worker. And when it's time to cut a head, they're going to have to cut a head. So that was my motivation to position myself that where I would never be in need of that job if they decide to let me go tomorrow, that I would have myself in position to carry on with my family and keep a roof over my head.
That is real. That's real talk right
Yes,
there.
yes, ma'am.
That's real talk because a lot of us, it was a blessing, Brother Leroy, that you got wind of a possibility. Some of us don't even get wind of a
Right,
possibility, which
right,
means that it is doubly imperative that you start something on the side because it in the state of Georgia, for those of us who don't know, this is a, what is it, y'all? Y'all know what kind of state this is when it comes to
Hey,
employment?
right,
work the right.
right to work,
Yes, ma'am.
right to
Right
work.
to work state. Yes, ma'am.
Which simply means they can come and give you your pink slip the
Anytime
morning
for
that
any
you
reason.
Anytime.
show up. You think you up
Anytime for
right
any
there?
reason.
All right. So what better way than to make sure you call Master the Science of Business and do our 47.99 consultation so that we can help you get your business started now. Okay.
That's
All
right.
right. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
getting back to Brother Leroy. Brother Leroy, so you had wind that something was going to happen, possibility, and that could include you. No matter how much you have sacrificed your family, been away from them these long hours, putting in
Right.
quality service, quality, being a great employee,
The mental and the physical stress.
the mental, the physical stress. Thank you,
Yes,
Brother
ma'am.
Jahi, because he really know what you done had to go through, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am.
In spite of all of that, they can come and hand you your pink slip, right? All right.
Right.
So let me ask you, first question, were you a part of the layoff? Did they lay you off?
No.
First question. Okay, good, 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 good. All right. And do you still work for the company?
Yes.
Okay, all right, good, good, good. So now that you were blessed to get beyond that, how many hours do you spend on your regular job? How many hours do you spend?
50 hours, 50 hours a
Oh,
week. At
a
that
week.
time, I was spending maybe 65 hours a week.
Whoa. All right. How many hours do you spend on your side jobs? All your
I
mini
would
jobs. How
say,
many hours do you spend?
I currently spend close to 40 hours.
Okay, so that's a total of about 90 hours a week that you're almost spending about the same amount of time on your
Right.
side jobs as you are your full-time job, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me ask you this, and you don't have to give us any figures. Would you say that your side job is financially more rewarding as your full-time job?
Me and Jahi was speaking about this a while back. My side job is at 80% or close to 90% of what my
Wow.
full-time job is. And as you mentioned
Okay.
this, Sister Sandy, I'm already in position now to I put in my date in my head when I'm about to leave my full-time job.
Woo!
So I
Okay,
already put
listen.
next a year of March of next year by Allah's permission and grace, I would leave the full-time job and do my business full-time for the rest of my life by
Wow.
Allah's grace.
If
And by that time, systems will be put in place.
that's
The Well, I
right.
mean, by not
Mm,
the systems are in place now, but the revenue that is needed to maintain, and not just maintain the household, but take the household to a
mm.
higher level at the rate that he's going, and the systems that's being put in place. In that year's time, he will be there, and it's all systematic. It's very systematic.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that's what I was wanting to get to, Brother Leroy, how it can be done. It
Yes, ma'am.
can be done, even though you may have a full-time job. Don't think that it cannot be done. It can be done.
It can
So,
be
okay,
done.
I'm a relinquish the platform because I can keep going in with this, Brother
You
Leroy.
you,
'Cause-
you about to
so,
say something about it, Leroy? You about
No,
to
man.
say something?
I was just going to say that it definitely can be done, and it's a part of the Still Away program that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that you don't just have to walk away from a job, unless you have circumstances that dictate that you had to do so. But if you don't, and if you have a family and you have certain things that you have to maintain, then you begin to steal away from that job. And when you get to that certain point where your job and your business become a a battle between the two in your time, and then your growth of your business is only at a certain level now because you can't go further because now you're in the way of your business or your job. So you have to remove yourself from the job so your business now can continue to grow and go to that next level that you're trying to get it to.
Yep.
And that's where I'm at now. I'm at the point where the hours that I spend at my job is interfering with my growth of my business now. I
mm,
need to be
that's what's
there
up.
pushing the business to get it to the highest level where I can go, where I can
Yeah.
do the things that Jahid has mentioned and have staff that's doing it, not me physically doing it. Because that's my biggest desire is not to be the one that's physically doing all the work. Because I've been in management for over 20 plus years at my current job. So I don't want to be a employee where I become a employee where I'm doing the physical work all the time. Because then at that point, I'm just another employee, just
Right,
working for
and
myself.
that takes away from the growth of the business as well. Because
Correct.
in order to actually grow the business as an entrepreneur, you have to be where the contracts are. You have to go and do those. You don't have time to be doing the technical aspects
That's
of it.
correct.
So, Brother Leroy, please, if you have time, I want you to stick around. But before you go, if you could just keep tuned in, because all of us know each other very well. So we got brother Richard coming up and brother Iquan coming up, and like I
Yes,
said,
sir.
we all talk all the time. So you can offer that advice that you can. But how does one get a hold of Here at Last Landscaping Services, and what landscaping services do you provide?
Well, I currently provide residential as well as commercial landscaping service. My cell phone number is 678 328-9089. That's the office cell business number. And then my cell number is 678-595-3694. My website is www.hereatlast.net. That's www.hereatlast.net. And I can also be reached by email at landscape@hereatlast.net. That's
Oh, beautiful.
landscape@hereatlast.net.
Before, and I want to say this before I bring our next guest. One of the things too that I see personally why Leroy is here at last is thriving the way it is by taking action. You know, we can talk as till we turn blue in the face, if you will. I don't know if any of us will ever turn blue, but the point is we can talk, but you got to take some type of action. So Leroy I gave him an idea. I think it was this time last year, early this time last year, of businesses to contact for the commercial. He said, I want to do more commercial business. And what he did, he followed up on some of those, and made the contact. And what you say, Leroy? About 3 or 4 months later, so it wasn't an overnight thing. You got to plant the seed. But about
Right,
3 or 4 months later, those phone calls started coming in. And one of those companies now, he is their exclusive landscape provider.
yes, sir.
But you got to take
I
action.
did do that. Yes, sir. Sure did. I planted the seed where I started sending out emails and information about my service to different property management companies across the city, because some of them manage their properties in Georgia. So I started sending information out to those companies prior to the off season, and within 3 to 4 months later, I started getting a response back from them. And not knowing who they were and remembering who I sent the information to, they started contacting me and asking me to become one of their providers or their preferred provider for their services. Any services they have here in Georgia, they contact me first to see would I be willing to service it, or if I'm able to service it. Any
Right,
needs.
right. Beautiful. And I must say this too, is that as Brother Leroy talked about, he started out with that lawnmower and $5 with the gas, knocking on doors. Now he has trucks, multiple trucks, trailers, enclosed, open, lawnmower, sit down, stand up, sideways,
Yes, sir.
push,
And looking to get more equipment now.
Right. So, but that's the reinvestment. So those are things that we must do as entrepreneurs. We're making the money, then we have to reinvest it back into our business so we can go to the next level. So thank you so much. So our next guest, I'm very honored and happy to bring on. Again, we go way back and we talk often. He's another one that when he has an idea, he acts on it and he put it into motion. He's a serial entrepreneur. His core business is that of keeping the wig tight. He paid out a whole lot of brothers in the community. Been doing that for over 20 years. I think he's at 25 years. And he also has other businesses that he engages in. So I want to welcome to Mind and Money Matters live show for the first time. But he's my co-executive producer and co-host on This Week in the Final Call, Brother Richard Muhammad, aka Rashad the God.
Hey. All right. Oh wait, I'm getting excited. I love it.
That's one of his businesses. He do those T-shirts and hats.
Okay.
I am Farrakhan. Icon. You all have seen on Facebook Icon. That's Brother Rashad. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Ramadan Mubarak.
Sir. Walaikum salam, ma'ams.
So, Brother Rashad, please introduce yourself to the Mind and Money Matters live show. Like I mentioned, your core business is the barbering and barbering aspect. You've owned barbershops in the past, as well as working in shops and all those good things that come with barbering. And you also have several others. I'm not going to list them. I want you to let the people know what you want them to know right now. Again, I don't want to incriminate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, again, like Brother Leroy, I'd like to thank you all for allowing me on the platform. And in brief, how I got into my other businesses, like you say, my foundation is the barbershop. About 25 years ago, as a teenager, I joined the mosque. And at that time, I was aspiring to being a street pharmacist. And a brother told me that I couldn't do that, and I need to find.
No. We don't do that here, right?
Don't do that here. So you need to find some employment or make some employment. Well, I went out, I got a job. And brother, when I tell you I had never worked that hard in my life, I've always had been a salesperson, if you will. And I had never worked that hard in my life. And when I got those checks and they were smaller than I could have made in 30 minutes, I was very depressed. I was very depressed. And I went to a barbershop that one of the brothers at that time, Brother Darrell Muhammad, who's one of the former secretaries here in Atlanta. He was at that time, I think, the local captain. And he had just opened up a barbershop. He had one chair in that barbershop. And I was going to him because that's what the Muslims do. We do for self and we support our own. So
that's right.
Sir?
I said, that's right.
Yes, sir. So I was going to brother to get my hair cut, and he could notice that I was feeling uneasy. And I was at the point where I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this, brother, because I'm not going to be able to live off of this. This is irritating me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I don't even know how my parents, will go to work for this kind of money. I was kind of upset about it. Well, brother told me that he could train me in barbering, and I became his apprentice. Later on, let's fast forward. I've owned 2 shops. And from the shop, what I learned was that your network is your net worth. I can only cut so many heads a day. I can only sell, so many products. So I needed to make money outside of the barbershop. Well, this was in 1998. A brother and I were drinking coffee because I'm a coffeeholic. And I was thinking, man, we need something we can do that we could sell and we can make money from. We don't have to be there doing all the work. And by the time we finished that pot of coffee, we had come up with a beverage company. So we started selling coffee. And it was a little slow. I was selling pounds of coffee, to my friends and family. And it was good, but it wasn't a business yet. It was just a hustle. At the time, one of my close friends, and he's been here on one of your shows, on the Mind and Money Matters show. He had a restaurant, and he gave me a shot to cater the coffee for his restaurant. Well, I saw then that I don't want to be selling pounds of coffee. I want to go from business to business, and I wanted to do strong co-branding. So that became the strategy for the beverage company. We did. Of course, Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles, and we did Cami Cakes. I was the first coffee vendor for one of the first Black millionaire cupcake companies, Cami Cakes. So that's how I got into the beverage company. But so now, fast forward many years later, we've gone from coffee to now we do herbal teas. We do distilled water and small serving sizes because it's very difficult to find pure water in a small serving size. So that's one of our specialty items, and by God's grace, it's doing well.
Oh, praise is due to Allah. That's fantastic. Wow. I ain't even know that.
That's why you gotta ask the right questions, bro.
That's a beverage company. And what's the name of the beverage company?
Fambro International Beverages.
Right. Yeah, that was the coffee. That was the coffee company, Fambro Coffee. Right. And so, I love that you're talking about the strategy. You mentioned a word that most people may not be familiar with, but as a business owner, we must get, especially if you have a product. You say co-branding.
Yes, sir.
What is co-branding, and why do you like that strategy better than putting Rashad's face on all bottles and sending it out like that?
Okay, that's a barbershop lesson. What I learned in the barbershop, again, we've used what they call the Exodus program. And what you're doing is once you get 100 customers, you work that customer base no matter what your product or service is. So once my clientele got where I became what I use the language of premier barber, and what that means is that I'm pretty much booked up. I have more appointments than I'm serving walk-ins. So at this point, I'm a premier barber, right? And so when I got to the point where it had almost put like a ceiling to the money that I was making, I needed to get the business, the beverage company up so that I don't have to be there to make the money. I make with the beverage company in 2 or 3 sales without making a whole day of work. So I needed to, okay, now I don't want to be here working so hard. So I need to transition at this point. So what I did was I took the barbershop as my test market. And we began to make teas, and when my tea sales got more than my barbering, what I did, I said, I need to call my homies. Hey, bro, I need to get in your restaurant so that, because you have a clientele base that uses the product. I don't want to go seek a clientele base. I want to use your clientele base as my market. And through my friendships, the co-branding worked. And that saved me a lot of time and made me a lot of money.
Excellent, excellent.
Wonderful. Sister Sandy, Sister Shereen, Brother Leroy, questions?
I absolutely love it. I think you answered my questions. I want to make sure that we get your information, and so that we can highlight it. So your contact number. And Brother Leroy, you left 2 numbers. If I can just get that other number really quick. The first one, 678.
I tell them what
595.
I'm sorry, say that again. 678.
678
Mm-hmm.
328 8990.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, Brother Rashad, you can give your contact information.
Okay, you can reach me at 404-454-3066 on my Facebook, of course. That's where we do the platform for the #1 program at Rashad Sharif Muhammad. And those are the best 2 avenues at this time.
Okay, yes, sir. And how do you spell Sharif?
SHARRIEFF.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because there's several spellings.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Yes, sir. Praise
So,
absolutely phenomenal. So you mentioned co-branding. I had never heard it put that way before. So thank you so much. And as Brother Jahi said, this is my classroom that you all are so oblige me by sharing.
I've learned a lot. I've been following you all for a couple of years, so I've learned a lot from your platform too.
Yes, sir. To share with me this information that you are engaging and learning in. So I'm really delighted, actually. And you mentioned network being your net worth.
Yes, ma'am. That is something on one of your other show. You had the brothers from Hustle University.
Yes.
I remember when Hustle University started selling book marks and buttons, and I was supplying. I was working with them at the time. And when he first wrote the 10 Hustle Commandments, that one spoke to me because as a barber, I already had a network. And all I had to do is go into that network and turn it into, quantify it into dollars.
Excellent, excellent. So that was from Hustle University.
Yes,
Hotep and Red. Yeah,
yes.
Rashad said he remember Red when he was selling them buttons back in the day.
Matter of fact, when I first started with the Cami Cakes project, Red did my buttons for the Cami Cakes project.
Wonderful.
Okay.
And that's another beautiful thing, business scientists, you're listening. So when you're out here doing things, these circles began to connect. It used to be with 6 degrees of separation. Now I think it's probably 3. I make 1, 2 phone calls, 3 at the most, and whomever it is that I want to touch, within 3 phone calls, I should be able to touch them somehow. Somebody that knows somebody, as Trick Daddy say, somebody knows something about it.
And what I'm going to say is pooling resources, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But all of this that you described, Brother Richard, is pooling resources.
That's exactly what it is. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I have a quick
Definitely.
question. I know we need to get to our next guest. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Rashad. I did not realize it was you that's going to be on the show today with us. So we actually got some business we need to talk about with reference to my father. So it's great that you're on the show today.
Yes, ma'am.
There was something that you mentioned. Actually, Sister Shireen asked this question this past weekend with reference to assistance with marketing, assistance with logo, all of that stuff. Do you do that yourself, or that's the first question? Do you do your own marketing yourself, or do you use an outside source?
Well, I do my own marketing. However, I outsource graphic works. I outsource some labeling. Like right now, I'm in the process of refacing the company. That's why I didn't give out a website. That's why I didn't give out, because you want to stay modern. You want to stay up with the times, and that's what we're in the process of doing right now is refacing the company. So but I do my own marketing. The reason why I do that is because again, the co-branding saves me a lot of marketing dollars. Because, okay, for instance, when I first began, I wanted everybody to know Fambro Coffee. I wanted everybody to know my company. Well, when I sat back and I observed bigger companies, for instance, if you go to any grocery store, you'll see the Starbucks coffee, but then you'll see the Kroger brand coffee, right? Well, at the end of the day, same coffee beans. You can only make coffee one way. You want to pick it off the tree, roast it, and put it in a bag.
You're right.
What happened? Well, what I wanted to do then, I said, well, I'm going to step back and I want to play the manufacturing position. That does with the co-branding is if I put your name on, like one of my recent clients is Cafe Ulu. If you go there and you get the Cafe Ulu herbal teas, that's my product. But the Cafe Ulu brand is on it. So what happens is Cafe Ulu has an interest in pushing the product. I don't have to do that.
Excellent.
So that's the place that I wanted to be, and I learned that from you don't have to be seen.
That's right.
A lot of people are hustling to be seen. I'm trying to hustle to disappear. I want to make a.
I love yes.
Oh, word of the day. Word of the day. Since he said that, I read this today in the Holy Quran. Oh, I forgot what chapter, but it's Allah Ephesus. That's the word, Ephes, Efface. That means to disappear, to play play yourself of no big importance. Yeah. So thank you for mentioning. I want to use that word in a sentence.
That's great. Thank you. I'm using it. I'm give you credit the first time, John.
Yeah, that's right. The first time. The next following week, somebody said.
You have to say that word. Spell it again.
Ephes, Efface.
Okay.
It means to disappear. Yes, Sister Sandy.
And then and then the last thing that I wanted to bring out, Brother Rashad, it's so interesting. I never realized it was co-branding, but I actually do that a whole lot. The other thing I wanted, since you were just talking about marketing, is, and we've talked on the show as well with other guests about the percentage that they invest. And actually, this question is also for Brother Leroy, if he's still on the line and would like to share, with reference to the percentage of your the percentage of your revenues. Okay. What percentage of your revenues go towards marketing?
Well,
Go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry, Rich. No, I was just saying, well, that's a good question. With me, I haven't did any marketing yet due to the fact that I was working on staffing. And in this industry, you market too fast and you can't.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay. Create more problem for yourself.
Yeah.
So I just been marketing based on
I love it.
Referrals from other customers,
and
within in the same region or area that I'm working in. But I haven't put any money in physical marketing and email marketing or flyer campaign. haven't done any of those type of marketing yet because if I don't have the manpower to fulfill the service, then I didn't create a bad service for people. And in this industry, if you can't get to the houses in a timely manner, they're just going to find the next service available out there.
Yes, sir. And
And I have never marketed since I've been in the industry yet. And by a lot of grades, I've been successful. And I gain every season. I gain at least 30 to 40 new clients every season without even marketing.
Word of mouth is the best marketing tool. Yes, brother Rashid, brother Rashad.
And I have the same issue as Brother Leroy. The co-branding, what it does for me is that it saves me marketing dollars. And I'm like him. That's why I said I had to back up, because when you have a good product, you can get to a situation where, all right, now I need to be able to keep the consistency of the product as well as build a product. So when the units got to moving so fast, like I said, I went from in a year's time, just from with the test market, I went from selling a few and getting my recipe right to now it's making more money than my main source of income. I had to back up. Okay, let's put some structure to it. Let's get it, ready for market now. Now I'm at the point where I need to hire more staff before I get into more marketing. Because like I say, with the co-branding, I don't know how many customers Cafe Ulu have. So when I go in there, I'm gambling. I'm thinking I'm ready. The Walmart par, I once went to Walmart and their par will take most businesses out.
Well, okay, you're getting fancy on us now. What that mean?
Oh, well, okay. Well, whenever you have a business,
come on, bro.
Whenever you have a business with product, you always want to order or have back stock a certain amount of product. And the Walmart product is so high that it'll eat a small business like mine up. I can even, my cords couldn't even handle, 100,000 units. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what kind of par they try to keep. They keep a very high par. So the same thing with the mom pop restaurants.
Oh, you're saying par, P-A-R, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what does that mean?
That is the that's your backstock number. You want to have a certain amount of backstock that's always ready to go.
That you, as the manufacturer or the supplier of that particular product, should have X number of items or X number of that product for Walmart, because they may call you up at any time and say, we need, so you're saying you need 100,000 bottles or 100,000 cases. I think they deal in cases, right?
Well, yeah, of course, they however you provide the units to them, whether it's a single unit, whether it's by case, they may ask for 20,000, 100,000 at any time, or am I in a position to be able to fulfill that at any
time? You can't do that overnight.
You can't do that overnight. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was saying that, that's why I had to back up and prepare myself as I begin to go and get accounts that I can handle the accounts that I got. So that's to answer Sister Sandy's question. That's why I didn't do a lot of marketing. And again, my product is usually marketed by the person who sells the product, because that's whose name will be on my product.
Wonderful, man. That is absolutely phenomenal. I like that strategy. So it sounds like at some point you you talked about adding new employees. So where is Fambro Beverage International? Fambro Beverage International. Where do you see it in the next 3 years?
3 years, I would love to be one of the premier beverage companies. I don't know if you're familiar with Fiji Water.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Pomegranate juice.
Right.
I would love to be able to supply the numbers that they supply to the world. That's what I would love to be in 3 years.
And I know you sent out the information about a year ago on the family, the husband and wife that own. The husband and wife that owns Fiji also owns Palm.
Right. With a number of other brands, and they are an extremely wealthy Jewish.
Right. And they were relatively new to the market too. They haven't been around for 30, 40 years. I think they bought it like 11, 12 years ago.
Yes, sir.
According to them.
This is one of the things that also, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that we are, we're not just a business that's ran by a Muslim. We're actually Muslims in business. So when I offer you a product, I want to make sure that I'm offering my people the best.
Come on now. That's right.
99% pure. Why? Because that's what we're asked to do. The products are going to, if I couldn't use the product, I'm not going to sell it to you. My teas, I don't use white sugar in my tea because I don't eat white sugar. So, there's a certain level of integrity that goes along with what we're doing. And, people like the Resnicks, I can't vouch for their integrity. They are very wealthy, but they come from money. So it's easy, but I would love to be able to compete at the level.
That is wonderful. You heard it first here, business scientists on Mind and Money Matters. That's right, fam bro.
This is Ramadan. That's the season.
That's right. And with that plan and that learning, I love what both you and Leroy are talking about with the learning curve. Because when you're engaged, these types of things come to you. We're experimenting. We're scientists. That's what a scientist does. You figure, okay, I'm not ready for that step. Let me build up to it. So when it is time to get there, then you have the structure in place to be successful, not fly by night. Fantastic. So you can stick around. We got your partner coming up. See, I'm blessed because both of these happen to be my personal barbers. I can't get the one, then I'm able to get to your barber, Iquan. But again, the premier barber, been in the barbering business for 20 plus years. And this is what I like. This is my circle. All of us do a plethora of things, but we don't negate our base, and then we support each other. So that's hence you see us around each other, us doing things together collectively a lot, or grouping up doing certain things. The brother Iquan is another one that when he has idea, he sketches it out, then he moves out on it. So please welcome to Mind and Money Matters live show, my personal barber, your barber, Iquan. Salam alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam, family. How y'all doing this evening?
We're doing fine by Allah. Look.
Well, over here like beautiful. Thank you so much. Mind and Money Matters live show. My goodness. Your Barbara Iquan. I love the logo. Absolutely fabulous. I was so inspired from our talk yesterday with you and Brother Rashad and Brother Leroy about your business and your startup and what you were doing, that I went and did some research on the history of barbering.
Look at that.
And found out. I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely amazing.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you said that because I from what, let me give you a brief history on myself dealing with barbering. And I'm going to come back to full circle to your comment. I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
But how I got into barbering, my mom was a stylist when I was younger. And she was one of the coldest stylists in the city. I can remember being around the salon, people would be sitting around waiting for her. Yes. And I never really desired to be a barber, but I was always fascinated by sitting, and she would take me to the barbershop and just drop me off and go do whatever she was doing. And I'd be sitting in there looking at the people come in, pointing at the list, talking about, let me get number 9. And my mind was they're not going to get it. I'm down the whole process and then get amazed by the fact that they were able to finish and do, give the cut that they desired. But fast forward to me coming into the nation, I was working at Foot Locker. I was like 21. I was making like $1,000 a week, cash money, staying at home, mom, no bills, no responsibility, raking in the dough.
Right,
and when I got when I got introduced to the teachings, the do for self, we have brothers talking about do for self. This is brand new to me, so I'm like, man, I'm all in. What I need to do. So,
right.
As I grew in understanding of the teachings of the Nation of Islam, of Most Honorable Muhammad, I started going to work feeling a certain kind of way. Because what would happen, I was in the management program. I was working 90-hour weeks. 90 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Making good money, but I didn't have time to spend it. You know, I fell asleep a few times on the way home from work. I almost killed myself, and that was one of my determining factors to leave. But I would go to work in the morning, and these young cats would be at the gate waiting for me to open the gate. Now, from a commission standpoint, I loved it because it's like I start off the day with $500-$600 in the register because these young cats been out hustling all night. They're waiting to get in the store so they can spend their money. But at the end of the night, the same cats would scoot up under the gate as we were closing the gate to spend more money. So again, at first, it was adding to my commission. I was loving it. But as I grew a greater understanding in the teaching of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and getting the knowledge of self, I started feeling some kind of way about selling these young brothers these clothes, because what they would do, and these shoes, what they would do is they would buy stuff in the morning, go out and hustle, come back in before we close with the same stuff they just bought earlier, go in the dressing room, change clothes, leave the stuff that they just bought in the dressing room, go back out and hustle.
Wow.
Met me the next morning at the gate.
Wow.
So it was a cycle. So I was feeding it, and at a certain point, I just didn't feel right. So
right.
I can remember one night I was at Greenbrier over here. It's a $5 million store back in '94. $5 million a week. I was counting out a drawer of $40,000 that we had just made in that day. So while everybody's, you know, around saying whatever they're saying, you know, everybody's joking or whatever, I'm counting the drawer down, put the money in the bag, and at the end of me counting down, I told them, I said, I'll see y'all later. They're like, okay, where you going? I said, no, I'm not coming back at the end of the day. So
wow.
In the nation, doing for self, and I'm brand new in, so I'm a zealot in what I want to do, but I didn't understand the process of doing for self and stealing away. So I just left my job, went straight to doing for self, which I didn't know what I was doing. couple years in, I
love the transparency.
Yeah, well, I developed the entrepreneurial spirit by doing that, because I just jumped off the porch. And at this point, it's like, I'm out here now. I got the rope. So a couple years in, as I'm understanding that we, you know, in order to get married or to entertain the other side of the room, I had to have visible means of income. So what I was doing for income, doing for self wasn't making it. So I decided, okay, let me sit down and really think about this, because I'm serious about, you know, getting married. You know, I hadn't found who I wanted yet, but I had to say, okay, if I'm going to do this, then I need to find a visible means of income where if I could pack up today with the line of work that we're in, because we're all over the United States at the time. If I had to pack up today and move to New Zealand, I could touch down that day and put food on the table for my family by going to school and getting my barber's license. And back to my mom's situation, the icing on the cake was me remembering her having this drawer in the middle of her dresser. She always had money in that drawer. That's the only thing she would put in that drawer. So me being a little person, I think I created the Make It Rain concept, because I would always go to the room, open the drawer, take the money and throw it around, but I would always put it back in the drawer. I would never take any of it. So that access to cash is what said, okay, this is what I need to do. Even getting into barbering, initially, I've never cut hair before. So what I did is I went to barber school, Cleveland Ave, excuse me, please. Profile barbering school. Went over there. My mom took me over there. I ended up enrolling in the class, but I got the class didn't start for 2 weeks. So I got my books and all my supplies. They gave them to me. By the time I started school, I was 2 weeks ahead of the class in book work. And we have to finish the book work in order to get on the floor. I was scared to death to get on the floor because I'd never cut hair before. So I would play dumb in class like I didn't have my stuff done. But at a certain point, one of the students told on me, and they pushed me out on the floor like the buzzer did So with that being said, I worked in the barbershop 6 months into worked in school 6 months into being in school. Brother Daryl, Brother Richard, Rashad mentioned him earlier. Brother Daryl was working in a brother's barbershop out in Union City. So he introduced me to brother. Brother allowed me to come into the shop 6 months into school, and I had to wait till after 5 o'clock to go in the shop so the state board wouldn't get us. But I went into the shop, he put me right next to him, and he allowed me to cut, and learn. I'm learning in school. I got the best of both worlds. I'm learning in school, and I'm around some of the best barbers in the game. But Rashad was out there also. they were honing me into, you know, to picking up the pace in order to hang with the big dogs. So I cut out there for a while, and after a certain point, we branched off and ended up at another shop. Me and Brother Rashad, Brother Rashad and Brother Daryl had cut together for a number of years. So I came in as the baby of the bunch, and I learned up under them. Fast forward up to about 2012, I think it was, when we were working out in Union City. The shop shut down out there, and I was tired. I was getting ready to throw my clippers in. I got a call from another brother that mentioned that we needed to come and check out this spot over on Deloach. It was a shop that had just closed down. The owners caught the guys in there selling drugs or whatever they were doing. She shut them down. We got the shop 2 weeks later, fully furnished, and just paid the deposit and got in, which formed a partnership between myself, one other brother that was in the mosque, and eventually Brother Rashad came on as partners in the shop. We ran the shop for about 3 years. I learned that I was not the businessman that I thought I was, because I didn't go into the shop with the formal idea of having a shop. You know, it was just an opportunity. We jumped in and we learned as we went. I transitioned from being a barber to a businessman that knows how to cut hair. And to this day, I tell my clients that, because there's a difference between me being a barber and there's a difference between me being a businessman that cuts hair. If I'm not locking into barber mode, then because the barber game we've allowed it to get watered down so much and being disrespected so much and pulled Sister Shereen away from the tradition of barbering, that anything goes in the barbershop at this point. So the barbershop, the barber game has been perverted. Anything goes. There was a time that women weren't even allowed in the barbershop at one point. And I'm not saying that this is part of the perversion. I'm just giving the timeline as to the change that took place.
Right.
That change took place, and then it took the disrespect that takes place in barbershops, where you can't even send your son or your child in. My mom used to just send me in the barbershop by myself. But now you go in, people smoking weed, selling weed out the back, all kind of stuff going on in the barbershop. So all of that made an impression on me, up to the point where I am now, where I consider myself, where I've been placed in a position because I've taken some classes to be considered an advanced barber, where the service side of barbering has been taken away. Do you all know what the barber pole, where it originated?
Yeah, Sister Shereen does.
I was studying it last night. I was like, wow, I did not.
She was waiting on that question, Iquan. She was waiting on that one.
It blew me away. And maybe one article led me to another article. I was like, what?
Yeah. See, the barber pole is very significant in my logo.
Yes, it's beautiful. You bringing righteousness back to barbering.
Right. The name itself, Your Barber. That was created by the businesses that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had back in the day.
Come on now.
The barber pole, you see the barber pole there. I changed it up a little bit. If you see the top of it, it has a star and crescent in it.
That's right.
I don't press my religion on anybody. I'm very subtle in what I do. You know, and I leave little signs here and there. So when people see it, they question it and they start looking at it and they like, okay, I understand what's going on with brother. But the barber, the red, white, and blue in the barber pole. The red, back in the day, the barbers we did bloodletting and we pulled teeth.
Yes.
Oh
my goodness, they was in there doing surgery.
Pull your teeth and cut your
Look, we used the towels to stop the bleeding, and they would take the towel and stick it outside, and the wind would blow it in a circle. That's where the twirling of the red came from. The blue in it is the medicine side.
Yes.
It stands for the medical side of barbering. If you know, like in any of the back in the day, they don't do it anymore, but you used to see at the drugstores, the cross, and it had the snake that went up the cross.
Right. That's a medical symbol, yes.
Right, it's a medical symbol. And they got that from barbering. So what happened is we've allowed dermatologists in anything dealing with skin, scalp, and hair. We've allowed that to be taken away from barbering. See, barbers are no different than lawyers, no different than doctors, no different than dentists. And we should be making the same money that they do. But we've allowed the service side of barbering to be taken out. So what I did, I got to a point, I was working at the shop, been working there for about 5 years, and I got to barber burnout. There's only so many hairs you can cut in a day, and have a quality of life. Really, nobody can tell me how much money I can make as a barber, but to cut 20, 30 hairs in a day, that is a lot of work. When I found a technology that I invested in that puts me in a position to make $1,000 a day without touching my clippers.
Excellent.
I don't have to cut a hair. I don't have to touch the head.
That's what's up.
To make that kind of money.
That's what's up.
So the haircut is really a given, But this system that I've actually got trained, and I don't know if y'all can see this. It's called
yes, we can. Yes.
I'm gonna throw it up a little bit just so you can just kind of see it real quick.
We see it.
But with this system, you don't see a haircut on this chart at all. It's dealing with the skin, scalp, and hair. There are a lot of infractions that people have that sit in the barber chair that they don't even know they have, like dry scalp. There's a remedy to the keloids in the back of the brother's heads.
That's right.
That development back there. There's a remedy to that. And you don't have to go to the dermatologist to do it, because most times you go to the dermatologist, they shoot you full of steroids and it end up coming back. I know how, as long as it hasn't keloided up, like the skin hasn't gone together, I know how to remedy that. But I had to invest in myself in order to take myself to the next level and take myself outside of being just the ordinary barber. No knock on ordinary barbers, but I couldn't stay in that lane. So when I took this class, I'm in a suite right now. I was in a barbershop. When I took the class, the brother told me, he said, once you finish this class, you're not gonna be able to go back to that barbershop. He said, it's just a matter of time. You just start counting the days, because once you start changing, if you can't change the shop, he said, change your station, change your dress, change the services that you're providing to the people. And the tools and stuff that I was using, I have let me see. I no longer use a brush to dust my customers off. I have wireless compressed air. And when I picked this up and I started using people,
look, hold on, brother Aquan. You done took it to a whole nother stratosphere, okay? I love it. Only on My Money Show, okay?
Yes. If I'm on YouTube, y'all. What it popping?
If I'm going to demand the money that a doctor and a lawyer get, see, if doctors and lawyers have to come see me, us. We make them look good.
That's right. That's right.
They got to put some respect on the name at the end of the day.
Some respect on it.
They gotta call you Dr. Brother Aquan.
With that being said, I mean, I was at the shop for a minute, and then I just wasn't feeling right. I go in, and I know that once I start doing certain things, the customers start asking. Okay, they're asking their barber, okay, what is he doing? What is that over there? How come you don't do that? And then they start like creeping into the chair. And when that started happening, I said, I gotta go because we've been here fighting. So
you stole my customer.
Well, right. But see, then the customer is a grown man. He has the right to do what he wants to do at the end of the day. But my desire has always been, even when we had our shop, Brother Rashad, myself, and Brother Quentin, was to bring the old school feel of the shop back with a new twist, with a modern twist on it. And that's still my desire. At the end of the day, what I'm going to do, because jumping into this suite is a more major jump than me jumping off the porch going into business for myself. And I've been doing that it's been over 25 years. But now it's on me. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have the luxury of the walk-in clientele, which they come in, because I have a front, my suite is at the front window. I have prime real estate where I see everything that's going past. They see me in here. But it's a matter of getting them into the suite, sit down and get a haircut. But it's all on me. So what I have to do, and I'm gonna get with Brother Shad at some point, I have to get my refrigerator and all this other stuff.
That's right.
This is a business.
Yes.
This is a business.
Yes.
This is my office.
Come on now.
I not only cut hair, I'm a licensed auto dealer, and I put that on the back burner. I got into dealing with cars because I've always loved cars. I was a little child that I had every Matchbox car in duplicates, and I've just learned to turn my smaller cars into larger cars at the end of the day. So I am a licensed auto dealer, but at this point, I've kind of put that to the back burner so I can develop this foundation, because all of my customers, I don't have a lot. I have the credentials to go set up a lot. But I don't have a lot. I don't want a lot, because I'm not looking to be sitting behind a desk waiting for somebody to come in and buy a car. So all my cars are sold right out of my barbershop. So I've learned to bring, instead of being scattered all over the place, I've learned to use my foundation here in the barbershop to bring everything that I'm into right to this suite. And if it doesn't work in here, then I don't need to deal with it. I don't need to deal with it. So, and along with being a barber, I've also ventured into doing some wholesale real estate. I'm actually doing my studying on that now.
Okay.
But I with the barbering, back to the barbering, what I desired, the minister put something on us years ago. I'm not going to mention it because nobody actually did it yet, and I don't want to put it out there where somebody take off and run with it, because it's been at least 15 years and nobody's even moved on it. But I want to maximize what I'm doing here in this suite. Take the technology that I'm learning and actually teach the other barbers that are in the mosque, and we come back together into a business together, start a franchise type situation where we're training the barbers in the technology that I've learned to take our income to another level and bring a better quality of camaraderie back into the business realm of barbering. And see, we can take this concept that I have in my mind all over the United States, you know, and it's going to, the barbershop is, check this out. We're talking about Facebook and all the other stuff. Look, Zuckerberg snuck into one of these barbershops and got his mustache done and saw what was going on and went and set up at Facebook. We are Facebook. We are
That's
Facebook.
Right.
That's right.
Of the community.
That's right. You right. Yeah.
Look,
That's right.
I tell my clients all the time, I can pick up my phone right now. You rattle off 100 different things that you're looking for. I guarantee I can nail them by calling my resources in my phone. At some point, we can make it happen. So, like Rashad said, your network is your net worth. You have to look at it in the proper perspective and work what you have to get what you need. See, in being in business for yourself, like Brother Leroy was earlier, he was mentioning, and even Brother Rashad is mentioning, and I'm gonna reiterate it. It takes money to make money at the end of the day. You can't be scared to invest in yourself. Excellent. You got to spend the money. I'm gonna listen to this quote.
Excellent.
Hesitation creates gaps. Bold moves create authority. Hesitation creates gaps. Bold moves create authority. You can't be afraid to jump out there and spend money to put money in your own pocket. You can't. So
absolutely wonderful.
At a certain point, once I'm using this suite as the incubator to get this to maximize and master the concept that I have for a franchising shops. And once I'm comfortable with this doing what it needs to do, then I'll bring to the table the actual concept of taking it to a whole nother level. Because this is the future of barbering. What I've done, you see a lot of the man weaves and people using what they consider enhancements. Enhancements are for people that need them. They are what they are, like when they spray the black stuff in people's hair and whatnot, and the man weaves, and there's a few other things that
the man weave.
Yeah. There's a few other things that the barbers are doing, but they're creating problems. They're going to create problems. Like that man weave, if they're not doing it correctly, they're going to cause permanent damage to these people's heads.
Wow.
The stuff that I've invested, the class that I invested in, I'm already ahead of the curve for when that happens. So when the created, I'll be ready for them. I'll be ready for them to come sit right in my chair. I have checked. I know as far as you all were asking about marketing and whatnot, I have cards that I have made up and I pass them out. Word of mouth is the best thing for us as barbers. Instagram has been very vital. If you go to my Instagram page, you'll see like the chart that I held up. A lot of the stuff that I
what is your Instagram page?
It's Your Barber, YOUR Barber, BARBER _ Iquan, IQUAN. Your Barber _ Icon at Gmail. Your Barber Icon Your Barber _ Icon. I'm sorry.
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah, and you had a nice video done too. I was telling them about the video that you had done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One of my clients did that. But I look at this. This is a true story. I have 2 videos that I posted with some of the services that I offer. 3 of them. 2 of them have over 200-some thousand views. The other one has 160-some thousand views, and that was last week. I don't know what they're at now.
Wow.
But
Wow.
So, do you have a contact number as well, or you just use your Instagram?
Yeah, the contact number is on there, and I may need to get with y'all because I'm not real savvy with the analytics and all that, the backdrop of dealing with all that. But I had a client reach out to me. I didn't know where he was from. I didn't ask him. He saw one of the videos. He was like, "Look, man, I need your service. You know, this, that, and the other." He sent me a picture. I do a consultation. I charge for my consultations. With the services that I do before we come in over phone consultation. Then he scheduled an appointment. He came in, and this man drove from New York City.
Wow.
Drove from New York City on a Sunday, came down, got the service, and he was so bad that I needed him to come back for for another 3 to 4 weeks consecutively. Got back in the car after he did the service, and him and his partner drove back to New York.
Wow. Came back for the service.
Yeah, he had real severe razor bumps up under his neck. He just looked like he had I don't know what he did, but it was rough. But what I'm saying is that the service side of things, people will travel and they will spend money. They will spend money. So I'm out of the league of chasing haircuts. You know, I can't do that any longer. There's no knock on anybody that's there. But if you want longevity in this game, you got to take it to the next level. And when you take your service to the next level, you're going to attract another level of clientele.
Excellent. Moving beyond the base.
Yeah, whatever you're doing.
Yes.
The next level of what you're doing outside of barbering is gonna come sit in your chair.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I'm so excited. I am so excited. The 3 of you have been absolutely amazing. Brother Jahi has done it again.
This is my circle. I
Let me tell you. Jahi. Hold on, Brother Jahi.
I gave y'all a peek. Into my circle.
Yes, you did.
We couldn't tell everything.
Hold on. We're gonna wrap it up. But listen, each one of y'all got to tell a little known fact about Brother Jahi. Each one of y'all. Come on now. Real brief. Come on, because Brother Jahi, you do it to me all the time. All right, Sister Shireen. So each one of us, give us one little known fact, each one of you.
Man. Wow. Well, Brother Jahi is very resourceful. You know, I bounce a lot of ideas off. And no matter what.
No, they just disregard those.
No matter what
they just disregard them if they below the last person who she added.
Leroy, your microphone on.
No, I muted him. Go ahead.
Right, but but anytime that I've always bounced stuff off of Brother Jahi, and he's always been able to give me some insight on whatever I bounced off of him, as if he's already done it himself. and
so he's resourceful. He's a wealth of information.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brother Iquan. All right, Brother Leroy,
thank you, Iquan, because I don't think that's what she was looking for. Thank you.
That's all right. Look, that's all right. Because guess what? I ain't say nothing because everybody can't say the same thing. So that's
we have a brotherhood, right?
It's Sister Sandy.
Yes, sir.
You know, one of the known tips for Jahi.
What's that?
It's a secret that no one knows. Jahi don't like GPS. He don't like using the GPS. He still use the old map system that you buy. You go to the convenience store and buy the map book. use map out your route to around the city.
He's
That's what
right.
he drives
He's
and
right.
learns the city on. He don't
He's
use
right.
the GPS. He used the roads and the landmarks and the mile markers. That's his GPS.
That's why
And if
he
you
knows where
ask him to use
everything
the GPS, he may get
is.
offended with you.
Right there. Oh, you.
Oh my God.
And then the last thing, don't ask him to use your, the new model cars have the backup system. Don't ask him to use that backup system, camera backup system. He is so old school that I'm surprised he's using the technology to do this platform.
We twisted his arm. Trust me, Sister Sheree. We
If there was
twisted his
another
arm.
way to do this platform, he would do this platform on the old school style platform.
That was like, boom,
Thank you.
I just had to make it happen.
Thank you so much,
All
brother.
right, it's time to go. We gotta get to
No,
class.
Brother Rashad.
But go ahead, Brother Rashad.
Brother Rashad, and then we gonna cut it off.
My Jahi fact, I got two Jahi facts. One is Brother Jahi is probably one of the most well-read persons I know. He knows a little bit about everything. No matter what the subject matter is, he gonna have some. Gotta give him that. And two, I don't like talking to Jahi because whenever you talk to Jahi, it ends up in, well, what you gonna do? He's a much better motivator. What you gonna do, brother?
This has been phenomenal.
Praise.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you all for sharing. Man, it's been very insightful. Very insightful. And the thing that we talk about is execution. So thank you all as we do this ministry of trade and commerce. And all of you are members of the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, whether you knew it or not. You are members, so you will be getting our correspondence about the programs and the events that we got coming up, because you all will be a part of it.
You sound like Uncle Sam, man.
No, I'm more like who was in The Godfather? Oh, The Godfather. Make you an offer that you can't refuse.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Did we get Iquan? Yeah, we got your contact information, right, brother Iquan?
Yeah, I didn't get
you didn't give me the number.
Cell number is 770-755-8405. 770-755-8405.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, brothers. Appreciate you all taking the time out of your schedules.
Appreciate
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention Brother Iquan as well as one of the co-hosts on This Week in the Final Call. Also,
yes,
he's one of the co-hosts on it. Also, so
and Jahi, let them know that
yes.
I also carry the Final Call. They can get it here also.
Oh yes. Yeah, one of the locations, as well as Brother Rashad's location. What's your address again, Brother Rashad, for those that want to get the Final Call?
1985 Campbellton Road. 1985 Campbellton Road.
All right, I should be able to easily remember that. That's the year I graduated from high school, 1985. Okay.
Get a vision.
and brother Iquan, your address?
3425 Cascade Road Southwest. 3425 Cascade Road Southwest. I'm inside of Bonds Salon Suite in the Kroger Plaza on Cascade near 285.
All right.
Suite A5 on the inside.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. And business
scientists. Say the suite number again. I'm sorry.
The suite number is A5 on the inside of the building.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes. So thank you all again so much. And with next week we have Minister Akbar Muhammad, Brother Yusuf Muhammad, one of his business partners out of Houston, and Brother Earl X, another business partner. They're going to be talking about Africa, doing business in Africa and the Caribbean. So we definitely want you all to tune in and keep up that great energy. Thank you all again so much. And we'll be talking soon. So Sister Shireen, Sister Sandy, I want to close us out.
You got anything else to say, Sister Sandy? Okay,
I got all my dirt. I'm good to go.
right. So I'm gonna share with you.
Look. What? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was thinking about when she said I got all my dirt. I was thinking of our brother Nipsey Hussle. What he said. I'm a paraphrase it. Bow tie on my neck. Last time that I checked.
Last time that
smut,
I checked.
no
Yeah.
smut on my rent.
Yeah.
Last time that I checked.
Yes, I love this. Oh my God, I didn't know anything about the man until he was murdered. But my goodness, absolutely phenomenal. He certainly lives on. So just wanted to give you the recap for Mind and Money Matters live show. We talked about the role of an entrepreneur. Brother Jaheeb gave us the salesperson. That's the number one role. So we want to make sure that you have these 5 strategies, the Jaheeb 5 strategies on cold calling, smiling down. That's so easy to remember. Like he just gave it to us so sweet, right? Is smiling down, decrease your heart rate. Let's get the fear out of you. Stand while you are talking. Phone a friend, right? He said to create a picture. Get a picture of a friend that you feel close to, that you feel that friend that's going to put a smile on your face when you see their face, and look at their face when you're calling this person that you may think may give you a no, right? And then he says, speak in 1 or 2 sentences at a time. Excellent point. That way you won't lose the person. You're saying 1 or 2 sentences at a time. And you're going to practice in the mirror the same way you practice dancing, the same way you practice getting that first date, the same way you practice anything. You're going to practice making that first call, right? And then he said, lean into the rejection. That means, he said, use that reverse psychology and try to get as many no's as possible, because the no's lead to the yeses. And the more you get those no's out of the way, the more yeses you'll get. Then we have Brother Leroy. This is his information. You can just take that down. Brother Leroy's information, hereatlast.net, landscape at hereatlast.net. If you want to send in an email. He talked about what motivated him to get into the Sidepreneur Venture or Steal Away program. He talked about how he realized he was not in a position to secure his family. You have to have that motivator, that thing that's going to keep you in the game when you get tired, when you get afraid, when you get bored. All of those things that are below the enthusiasm on the emotional tone scale, because it is enthusiasm that gets you to be creative and all of those wonderful things. So you want to realize that you need to position yourself to cover your family, because that's what he did. He realized what I'm doing is not going to do it. The 401k alone is just not going to do it. So he borrowed from his 401k and used it towards his business, which gave him even more motivation, because he knew he did not want to waste that investment. He didn't want to waste that, right? So now, after so many years of doing that, he is near in the position to step out on his own. Then we have Brother Sharad Sharif. You can find him on Facebook, Brother Sharad, or Brother for Rashad. My tongue is twisting. Rashad Sharif, 404-454-3066. He's at 1985 Campbellton Road in Atlanta, Georgia. And he talked about what motivated him to get started. And he talked about, he was that street pharmaceutical. He was on in that street pharmaceutical program. And when he joined the Nation of Islam, the brothers was like, nah, I can't continue that, bro. So
can't do that no more.
Yeah, right. So he had to get into the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and begin pooling resources. So as he joined the Nation of Islam, he met with a brother that he was going to as he was supporting his own. He was getting his haircut from one of his brothers, Brother Darrell, getting his haircut from Brother Darrell, and that led to an apprenticeship. What an apprenticeship is learning on the job training and getting paid while you are training. So if you know of any apprenticeship programs out there, get involved. We had what is it, Sister Sandy? Connect.
PO Connect
PO Connect.
with
With
Sister
the S.
Sandy. Yeah, Sister
With the S
Sandy
at
is
the
Oh, right, with the S. Okay, PO Connects.
dot
PO
com.
Connects.com. POConnects.com. And Brother Leroy talked about how that program really, really works. He has interns or apprentices from that program. So you can get involved in that program as a business owner. You can get apprentices to come to you and work, and they are paid by the program. And you also can get apprenticeship for those who are in need of learning how to do a thing, or a task, a job, or what's the word, a trade, you know,
It's training, on the job training.
on the job training. And as the apprentice, you get paid while you work. It's fabulous. I just don't understand why we not, all of us is running, make sure we're doing it, especially our young people. Let's get involved. He used his network. He used a quote from Hotep and Red of Hustle University. Your network was your, well, I kind of messed the quote up, but you see,
no, that's it. Your network is your net worth.
right. Your network is your net worth. Okay. I had it in third person in a different way, and then I tried to change it and then get it all changed. But you get the drift, right? He decided he wanted to go co-branding. That was a term learned for me today. So hopefully you got that. And that is taking your product and allowing the business that's purchasing it to put their branding on it. And so we've seen that done with water. We've seen that done with so many different products, where you go in and you see the same bottle of water, but then the other company's name is on the bottle. That's probably one of the ones that we can reach. But his name of his company is Fambro International Beverages. Fambro International Beverages. And then we had the mighty Iquan, and he's just that super barber. He took it to the next level. He went and got his additional training and certification so that he can deal more in the medical realm to help those of us who have issues with our skin. You know, we have different kinds of painstaking issues, you know, the razor bumps and the sores in the back of the head, razor, I don't know what they're called, but sometimes the skin keloids and things like that. See our brother Iquan. There's his number. You have it there, and you can find him at your barber _Iquan on Instagram. He got clients driving all the way from New York. Look, I'm from New York. I've done that drive 15 hours. Okay, if you speed in 14, whatever. 15 is a 15-hour drive. Okay. He talked about pooling resources and building relationships. He was making a lot of money, but it didn't feel good because he knew how even though he was doing something legal, but he had his brothers coming in and they were buying and wasting, just buying an outfit every day, a new outfit every day. In the morning they had an outfit, at night they got a new outfit, and then they just making so much money, they leaving the clothes there. I mean, come on. So he had to get into an area where he can also serve and educate our people, because once you become civilized, the duty of the civilized is to civilize the uncivilized, and that's what he did. And he had a desire to get married, so he had to take it to the next level. He knew that he wanted to have a family, and he couldn't have a family off of one haircut a day. That just wasn't going to work. He was scared to death because this when he talked about coming out of school, or even six months into the program, I believe he said he was scared to death because he had never cut hair before, but he had to work through that fear, and he did just that. He studied under some of the greatest barbers in the city, brothers in the mosque, brothers outside the mosque, but namely in the mosque, that helped to cultivate him and bring him to that next level. He said you can't be scared to invest in yourself. So I know we have our Twitter, what you call it, Brother Jahi, director of our social media.
Oh, yes. Yes. Social media director, Sister
Right, so our social media
Anissa.
director, Sister Anissa, writer for the Final Call, college student. She has been with us since she was a young girl in high school. She is doing big things now. We are so excited about Sister Anissa. She has 4 books on Amazon. You can go to Amazon, just type in Anissa Muhammad, and she has Escaping the Chains, Chasing God. She has a book on social media. I forget all of the books she has. Just go put a name in. I have to create a little slide for her as well, so that you can have her in some information. Last thing, Brother Aquan said that I jotted down was hesitation creates gaps, bold moves creates authority. And of course, there should be a semicolon in there for all your English people. I know, but it's okay. We gonna get it right? All right. And then the word of the day. We got the master of the science of business word of the day. Ephesus, right, Brother Jahi? Ephesus means to disappear. Like, I want these little markings that's on here to disappear, but I don't know how they got there.
You want to efface the markings?
Yes, I want to efface the markings, right? This was found in part 9 of the Holy Quran. So, part 8. Pardon me. That should be an 8, y'all. That is an 8. If you don't see it, it's day 8. Part 8 in the Holy Quran, you'll find this word. Make sure you get it. And then Brother Rashad mentioned par. And I'm thinking, what is that? The context in which he mentioned it is the backstock number. And we're going to do some more parsing of that word. So next week we can have a little bit more on that. So then we got into the little levity of the show. Sister said she had to get the feedback from our guests, because these are Brother Jahi's, some of his closest friends, brothers in the Nation of Islam, and these are the little known facts about Brother Jahi. And they said he's very resourceful. He's always able to give insight on whatever he's asked. He knows something about it. And then once you ask him a question, beware, because he will start. It's going to be my little known fact. Once you ask him a question, he is going to send you all the resources in the world as he comes across them, as he morning, noon, and night.
If you don't want to know, don't ask me.
You will get the resources. Okay, so don't you worry. Brother Jahi does not like GPS. Every show,
hate it.
Introduce him as the human GPS. His memory is refined. It has not been tampered with, y'all. You know how some of our memories have been tampered with these electronic devices. Has not been tampered with. He is actually using maps. You remember those maps? They open up like this.
That's right. I got the big one too, the map of the United States, the whole thing. Yep.
Yes, he's using maps.
Take it everywhere I go.
He and geography are like this.
That's right.
Together. So he knows that. He's the most well-read person I know. And that's what which one of them said that? I don't know who said that, but we can all agree.
Rashad.
Okay, Brother Rashad said that. And then he also, that's right, because he added 2. He is the consummate motivator. So once you say to him that it's something that you want to do, he will help you bring it into fruition. He actually has this as a service that he sells. So you can contact him at 404-438-3156. That's 404-438-3156. And that is the little known facts of Brother Jahi. We thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us either today or any other day. And we're going to leave you as we came. Hey, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal,
Spectacular.
phenomenal. I love it, Sister Shireen. I love it, love it, love it. Thank
Spectacular.
everybody. And it's almost time to break fast in about 30 more minutes, y'all. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan
Ramadan Kareem.
We love Farrakhan. We are with Farrakhan. There is no doubt about it.
That's right.
Assalamu alaikum.